The air crackled with festive cheer. Will, a slim black man with a heart as big as Santa's sack, was swallowed by a mountain of excited kids. Dressed as a toy soldier for the children's Christmas party, he felt a familiar pang in his side. He'd been ignoring it all day. Will always pushed through. He had sickle cell anemia. Pain was an unwelcome companion. But this time was different. The pang morphed into a searing agony that ripped through his body. He crumpled to the ground, his vision blurring as concerned faces swam into view. The music screeched to a halt. The festive atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a chilling fear. Someone screamed. A woman rushed forward, her face a mask of worry. "Call 911!" she yelled, kneeling beside him. Will could only manage a pained groan, his body locked in a vice. He vaguely registered the concerned whispers and the frantic activity swirling around him. He was vaguely aware of being lifted onto a stretcher, the world tilting precariously. Then darkness consumed him. The ambulance siren wailed, its urgency reflecting the battle raging within Will's body. He drifted in and out of consciousness, the rhythmic thump of his heart a counterpoint to the siren's shrill cry. He caught snippets of conversation, medical jargon, hushed tones, and a constant underlying current of concern. The flashing lights painted the world in an unsettling strobe effect, disorienting and surreal. Through the haze of pain, a memory flickered, his grandmother's voice, soft and reassuring, whispering, "You are strong, William. You are a fighter." He clung to her words like a lifeline, drawing strength from the memory of her unwavering love. The ambulance screeched to a halt, jolting him back to the present. The doors flew open, revealing a flurry of activity as he was whisked into the sterile, brightly lit embrace of the emergency room. The faces blurring above him were a sea of concern, their voices a muffled drone. Then, a new voice cut through the chaos, calm, authoritative, laced with a faint but unmistakable accent. "I am Dr. Khan," the voice boomed. "We need to get him prepped for surgery, now!" Will's eyelids fluttered as he struggled to focus. Dr. Khan, a Pakistani man with kind eyes and a reassuringly firm handshake, exuded an aura of quiet confidence that calmed the storm raging within Will. "You're in good hands, son," Dr. Khan said, his voice a soothing balm on Will's frayed nerves. "We're going to take good care of you." Will clung to those words as he was prepped for surgery. The rhythmic beeping of the machines a constant reminder of the precariousness of his situation. He felt a surge of gratitude for the skilled hands that worked tirelessly to save him, for the medical marvel that allowed them to peer inside his skull and mend what was broken. The surgery plunged Will into an abyss of unconsciousness, a medically induced coma designed to aid his recovery, but within the darkness his mind became a battleground. He found himself in a desolate landscape, the ground scorched and barren. Looming before him was a towering figure, all shadows and malevolence, the devil himself. "You're mine now," the devil rasped, his voice like crackling flames. "Your fight ends here." Fear, cold and sharp, threatened to consume Will, but then he remembered his grandmother's words, her unwavering faith a beacon in the darkness. "No!" Will roared, his voice echoing through the desolate landscape. "I am not giving up. I choose life." He fell to his knees and began to pray, his words gaining strength with every syllable. The shadowy figure recoiled, its power waning as Will's faith flared brighter. Section 5. 9 days later. A flicker of consciousness. 9 days. 9 agonizingly long days and nights his loved ones kept vigil by his bedside, their hopes ebbing and flowing with the rhythm of the machines that kept him alive. Then, a miracle, a twitch, a fluttering of eyelids. Will stirred, his consciousness slowly returning from the depths of the induced coma. His world was a blur of muffled sounds and muted light. He felt a hand gently clasp his own, its warmth a beacon of hope in the darkness. "Will, baby, can you hear me?" His mother's voice, thick with unshed tears, pierced through the fog of his confusion. He squeezed her hand weakly, his throat too parched to speak. He saw the relief flood her face, the tears finally spilling over as she leaned down and kissed his forehead. "Thank God," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Section 6. The long road back, family, friends, and physio. Recovery was a grueling uphill battle. Every movement was a monumental effort, every small victory hard-won. But Will was determined. Fueled by the love of his family and friends, and the dedication of the healthcare professionals, he faced each challenge with unwavering resolve. His days were filled with physiotherapy sessions, his body slowly regaining its strength and coordination. There were setbacks, moments of frustration and despair when the enormity of his situation threatened to overwhelm him. But his support system was his rock. His mother's unwavering faith, his father's quiet strength, and the laughter and encouragement of his friends were the wind beneath his wings, lifting him when he faltered. And slowly, painstakingly, he began to heal. Section 7. Untap Potential. A business is born. Being discharged from the hospital wasn't the end of Will's journey, it was just the beginning of a new chapter. He carried the scars of his experience, both physical and emotional, but he refused to let them define him. Instead, he saw them as badges of honor, reminders of his resilience and his newfound appreciation for life. He knew he wanted to use his experience to help others, to be a beacon of hope for those battling their own invisible illnesses. And so, Untapped was born. Will poured his heart and soul into his business, creating a platform to mentor and empower others living with invisible illnesses. He shared his story, his struggles, and his triumphs, inspiring countless individuals to embrace their own potential. He organized workshops, support groups, and online forums, creating a community where people could connect, share their experiences, and draw strength from each other. Section 8. Inspiring Millions. Will's message on the big screen. Years later, Will sat in a bustling sports bar, surrounded by friends and the electric atmosphere of an NBA game playing on the big screen. He watched, a sense of quiet pride washing over him, as his own story flickered across the screen. "Untap your potential," the tagline read, the words echoing his life's mission. The commercial, a testament to his journey and his unwavering spirit, was a powerful message of hope and resilience reaching millions of viewers across the nation. As the cheers erupted around him, Will couldn't help but smile. He had come a long way from that Christmas party, from the depths of despair to the pinnacle of success. He had stared death in the face and emerged victorious, his spirit unbroken, his determination strengthened. He had transformed his pain into purpose, his story into a source of inspiration for countless others. And as he looked around at the smiling faces, he knew that his journey, far from being over, was just beginning.